I feel like my parents, when I was growing up, had like one goal, which was just to give us Billy Joel. Like he was always playing in the house. So even when I was like in the seventh grade, I was singing Billy Joel songs in like the jazz band. So it's pretty surreal. He's kind of been the greatest musical force in my life, in a lot of people's lives. I think it's just so accessible, and there is something optimistic about it, even in the most like heart-wrenching songs. I was telling a story to the social team over there that I got to go to the last play at Shea, which was his last concert at Shea Stadium, right before they tore it down. And I think it was like my 21st birthday or something like that. And everyone was just ripping off pieces of Shea Stadium. So my best friend has like the back of a chair from that night. It was incredible. I'm a Only the Good Die Young guy, and the duet that he does, the name is escaping me, with Ray Charles about the piano. Oh my God, how am I forgetting this? It's gorgeous. Highly recommend it.
Before I let you go, is there anything you would want to say to Billy because he could be here tonight?
Oh man, just thank you for a sense of home. Yeah.
You put two quintessential icons together, and what do you get? You get Billy Joel, Tribeca Festival, and Robert De Niro too. So you can't get more New York than that. It's the music, it's the heartbeat of the city. It tells the stories of everyday people, it's communities, it's all of what New York is about, the city is about, and the festival is about. Billy, follow doctor's orders, get well soon, and we're looking forward to seeing you.
And this is my second time being a juror here, and I actually got my start in show business because of Mr. De Niro and Jane Rosenthal, who gave me my first job as an intern and then hired me as a script reader. So it's so full circle for me to be here and very exciting. I think it's authentically New York and celebrating all that is great about film. It's really pure.
It's been very emotional. We're very sad that Billy's not going to be here to watch this film with an audience. You know, we've been making these kinds of films, Susan, Jessica, and I, for so many years, and there's something really different, really special that happens when you're in the room with people. The laughs that you forgot were laughs, the tears that you forgot were tears, the whole thing, it's so special, and I think that would have been maybe healing for him to be a part of, so we're sad to miss him. Well, we were very excited to be at Tribeca with this. You know, we talked about, should we submit to Sundance, should we, what? But it was so clear that it was Tribeca. He's a New York guy. This is a New York film. You know, we're New York women making this film. And so it felt like a really special opportunity to, have it at home. Even after producing this film, I still think there's some kind of magic that I don't totally understand. He's just an artist that transcends generations. And that was so clear, at the Garden when we would go see him, and in the production of the film, watching archive, sitting through the interviews, when he's sitting at the piano. It's just, there's something about him as an artist that is, age doesn't matter. It's just he's a special artist in that way. There's so many, and when you make or produce a nearly 5-hour film about someone over many years, it changes. There were periods of time where I was in love with stiletto and I couldn't get it out of my head, and I'm 44 years old, so I entered the Billy universe with We Didn't Start the Fire, so that's always been a favorite of mine. But I really ran the gamut in the making of the film, and it's a huge collection of songs. I grew up in Chicago. I moved to New York City and started, working my way up the ladder and trying to make films. So it means a lot to me to be a New York filmmaker. And it's a beautiful place to be a documentary filmmaker. There's such a special community here. New York City changes, but that I feel that, in the community. And so to make this film about a New York guy it's a cool New York on top of New York on top of New York.
For me, it's kind of shocking when I look in the mirror and I think we're going to this festival tonight, and it's a documentary about what we did. Must be incredible,
And we got to be part of it.
Yeah,
These are our words.
the way you act in New York. There's the different people, the city is huge. The subway, everything has to do with it.
A lot of energy.
My favorite song is Laura on the Nylon Curtain album. Yeah.
That's one of my favorites too as well. But the chorus I won't repeat.
New York state of mind for me.
It's wonderful. I think I've been with Billy for almost 51 years. I had the honor of working with these incredible filmmakers, and it's a little bittersweet because we sort of wound down the touring career for a while. But he's doing great, and he is excited about the picture and just wishes these filmmakers the best. He turned over the reins to them and said, tell the story, because I'm tired of talking about it. He writes what we feel, and I think that he writes it in a way that's very, very easy to understand emotionally. In all the garden shows, you'd see everyone singing along because they thought they were singing in the shower and they were Billy Joel. Well, I like the obscure ones. I like the ones that are like, the B-sides and C-sides, because they're the ones that we don't hear a lot. So I think my favorite song, I think of, if I list them all together, is I've Loved These Days.
Oh my God, well, aside from being really nervous about sharing this for the first time with anybody outside of our little group, it can't be a more perfect place for this film to be premiering. I mean, Billy is a complete and utter New Yorker and a Long Islander, and it's his roots, and he always goes back to his roots.
He's beloved everywhere, but when he comes back home, and his Madison Square residency is a perfect example, he's a hometown hero, and we love the fact that this can be the place that, where it's celebrated.
When I heard the song, it's my favorite, besides Vienna, my favorite Billy Joel song. Turns out it's his favorite too, which I did not know when I picked that for the title. But I thought it was so appropriate. I mean, the song it's a prayer, that song. It's like a hymn. And it's very touching, and anyway, I just knew from the beginning that I wanted to name the film And So It Goes, because that's sort of very quintessential Billy, and so it goes,
It really is.
But
he's always waiting for the other shoe to drop, and I think that title kind of is emblematic of his life philosophy in a lot of ways, which is he keeps trucking.
In every house there is a room.
A sanctuary, safe and
sanctuary,
sound.
safe and sound.
Yeah. I think that for me, who is a lifelong fan and grew up with Billy's music, I think the most surprising thing was how much more depth there was to the man and the music and the story of the music than I had any idea about, even though I was a pretty big fan. So I knew the music, but learning the story gave a whole new meaning to the music.
Well, I did all the interviews with him, and there were about 8 or 9, and I started with the things that we could bond over, that we had a shared experience with, most of which is in part 2, the Holocaust story, the classical music story, because we have shared a lot of that history in terms of my own family. And as we got deeper and deeper into it, he began to realize that this wasn't a drive-by, that this was a serious film, a very honest film, and a very serious look at both his process, his music, his life, which the thing that surprised me is how unbelievably autobiographical it was. It is a roadmap. His songs are a roadmap of his life. And he usually deflects with humor, and he still does in this film a little bit, but he actually finally really goes there. He goes to all the deep and painful places.
No, I was just going to say everybody is going to be just shocked at the man they get to know, who is just really not the surface guy who wrote Uptown Girl and Piano Man. He goes a heck of a lot. He's a serious musician.
And he's a really serious, really knowledgeable musician. I mean, that really impressed me, how deeply knowledgeable he is about song construction, composition, harmony. I mean, he really employs all of that in a way that seems seamless and seems easy, and it's kind of a hidden thing underneath all that, and I think we exposed that and show it in the movie. We miss you, Billy.
Wait. We love you. just the way you are.
Look, I got to tell you, there's sometimes these things fall into your lap and you sort of say, how did this happen? And one of them comes in and would say, hey, will you help us make a Billy Joel documentary? I said, I was going to ask you to help me get tickets to Billy Joel. So the fact that we were able to help each other out, that's an incredible thing. Then the deep dive that goes into the whole shebang. I don't know about you, but at some point I heard this song that was actually a movie in my head about a guy playing a bar, playing piano in a bar and all the characters that were in the bar. That turned out to be Billy Joel, and he ended up being part of a soundtrack for the rest of my days since. Are we the kickoff?
You are.
Hot damn, that means we're a little higher on the food chain than I thought we were. I think it's a testament to Billy. What is more New York than the Tribeca Film Festival? And out of that, what is more New York City state of mind than Billy Joel? It's a perfect meld. It's a great marriage. And I like that right about this time of year, our cinematic world focuses literally on Tribeca. It lands other places throughout the year, but this week, it's the Tribeca Film Festival.